Oh look, Nora changed her outfit, and everybody's simping over it. You disgust me. We're not going to be opening that can of worms today, since she seems uninterested in actually addressing the criticisms of her video. Instead, we're going to look at the video posted by the YouTuber known as Liam McAvoy, or McEvoy, I don't know how to pronounce his fucking last name. No prizes for guessing which video I'm going to be covering, because of fucking course. To get the obvious out of the way, I'm not going after Liam because he happens to be trans. I'm going after this video because, like the others that I covered, they don't bring up any valid points. At least from what I've seen. And if you ask me, stupidity knows no gender, orientation, or age. Stupid is as stupid does. Now let's start with this train wreck.
I initially had the idea to do this video when I retweeted something on Twitter. It was a meme about lollies, but I actually asked people, what are their opinions on it, and maybe should I do a video, and a lot of people were interested.
Liam cropping out the lollicon's response to the tweet just shows how little he actually cares about hearing the other side's arguments. And if you thought the sheep that followed neuralities in Galaxy is not okay were bad, Liam's are a different breed entirely.
Oh god. Oh fuck.
So when I first made that post on Twitter, a few people in the comments or the replies or whatever were basically saying, what are lolly?
If you don't know what a lolly or a shota is, you're too young to use the internet. Leave.
A community on the internet who bear some kind of sexual attraction or fetishization of the lolly art style and lolly.
Lollicons also don't have to be in it for the sexual aspect, but go off.
If you're wondering that what I'm trying to say is there is a community of people, a very large group of people on the internet that is completely dedicated towards the creation and distribution of what is basically CP, then you are correct. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. That's enough internet for today.
Congratulations, Liam. You've now been put on my patent pending don't consume any media again rogues gallery. And it's not basically CP because no child is actually being harmed. But don't take it from me, look at the law. Justice.gov defines CP as visual depictions including photographs, videos, digital or computer-generated images indistinguishable from an actual minor, and images created, adapted, or modified but appear to depict an identifiable actual minor. Notice how it says actual.
Actually a much more prolific problem than people think.
Your jimmies being rustled is not a problem. Worry about actual victims, please. Liam then moves on to a Genshin Impact subreddit, specifically the hentai one.
This poll basically asked the entirety of the subreddit if they believe they should ban NSFW artwork of characters that are pretty much depictions of minors.
Now I'm just going off secondary sources at this point because I don't play Genshin Impact, but I'm pretty sure that if my sources are correct, Klee is hinted to be an elf and Chi-Chi is undead. I thought context was necessary, but if anybody plays Genshin Impact and watches this, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
8,000 people said yes, and 3.8 thousand said no. That's enough internet for today.
You took this from a hentai subreddit. Why are you so surprised?
Heads. What kind of rhetoric are they using to justify their no vote? You'll find that some of the most incriminating things come out when you allow them to speak freely.
And if it's so incriminating, why haven't they been arrested? Because the police care more about actual victims, and going after drawings is a waste of time and resources.
It's just drawings. It's just artwork. And while objectively, yes, they are just drawings, the thing is those drawings attract the attention of certain individuals in this community.
And lollicons do their best to cast out actual pedos. They hate people that harm real children just as much as any normal person. That self-proclaimed lolicon in your retweet could have possibly made that counter-argument, but like everybody, you're too close-minded to hear them out.
It certainly would not be a very good thing if the community were to be saturated with predatory individuals. You're literally creating a fox in the henhouse kind of situation.
And you're creating a mountain out of a molehill. Also, for someone to be considered a predator, they actively have to be searching for people to abuse in sexual ways. Use the term fucking right.
You're a moron. So's your mother.
And it's a very common occurrence for people attempting to justify that stuff to go through all these mental and rhetorical gymnastics to try and get you to agree with them, when in reality they're purposefully dodging the point.
No, they give you an answer with facts to back it up, and then you just double down and call them creeps and pedos.
It doesn't take the mind of a mastermind. It's not rocket science.
Shut the fuck up. You're making this much more complicated than it needs to be.
In a very parasitic way, and while I keep talking about Genshin Impact, in this specific case, just know that that's our kind of our case study here.
You're not a psychologist. Your head is so far up your ass, I can't tell where you end or begin. Why is it that every goddamn person like this always has to talk to their audience like they're a bunch of morons?
Because this group of people, the lolicons, they move from fandom to fandom. It's kind of a parasitic relationship where they kind of destroy that fandom and it kind of becomes taboo and it becomes associated with certain things, and then they move to the next one.
He's treating the lolicons like they're a bunch of Saturday morning cartoon villains.
It seems that the strategy here is to create an atmosphere of faux naivete and innocence. All those people who voted no, that's why a majority of them are saying, oh, it's just artwork of this Peggy 12 game for 12-year-olds. And the more you think about it, the more kind of gaslighty and manipulative that becomes.
I don't want to hear anything about manipulation coming from somebody who's treating an entire community of people like a mustache-twirling villainous hive mind. Your straw man argument is so huge you can make an entire army of scarecrows with it.
One, that's not the main reason why people are upset with it, and secondly, that's not the main reason why the lolicon people like it. Do you think people are having this argument because they actually care about Genshin Impact in the game, or is it because there's something else going on there?
Because a false accusation like that can ruin somebody's career and or life when they never committed a crime to begin with. But you clearly don't give a shit.
As I said before, these people jump from fandom to fandom, any place where they can masquerade behind the illusion that they're just interested in the fan art of the game.
Who says it's an illusion? Maybe they really do like the fan art of the game. If they want to show their appreciation of Genshin Impact, let them. As long as they don't harm people, it's fine.
Once people within the mainstream and the larger parts of the community realize what's going on, they may view the source material in a distasteful way, but that perception is not shaped by the actual artist that created it, but shaped by the people that distorted its meaning. I hope you can see how that's actually very, very parasitic. You know, these people jump from one community, one fandom to the next. Any place where they can get away with this behavior, but in the process of doing so, they end up completely destroying the public reception of the piece.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
Does your ass ever get jealous of the shit flying out of your mouth?
I'm half Asian and I grew up in a Tagalog-speaking household, so I feel like I'm a little bit qualified to speak on this.
Oh, first you act like a pompous know-it-all, now you feel. Which is it?
I think the way people bring the race card into it, it's kind of a little bit unnecessary.
I'm half Asian.
Rules for thee, but not for me in full force. Seriously, did you look through the recording before you posted this fucking video?
Send him to oblivion.
Hold up, Risotto. We're not done yet. I know he's been rambling a lot, but we're almost done.
I don't feel like it's very fair to assume that every single person within a specific community, in this case Genshin Impact, is going to be a lolicon. Because I don't feel like it's very fair to say that these kind of character designs are by default problematic.
This is the first sensible thing that he's said so far throughout this entirety of the verbal diarrhea he's been spewing.
And the artists that do create NSFW artwork using this style, they kind of ruin it for everyone.
Cry some more.
That's why I don't really think it's completely fair to simply attack lolly as an art style.
But you think it's okay to go after lolicons instead because my precious feelings and good boy points. You're just as bad, if not worse, than Nora in Galaxy. And at the very least, Norality's at least tried to back up her points with facts. I mean, she failed miserably, but there was an attempt. Meanwhile, you looked up maybe one thing from a tangible source. The rest of the video was either just rambling or non-reputable data. And surprising absolutely zero people, the comments in this video are really stupid. I do feel like some animes actually cater to the sexualization of lolly. Fuck your feelings. A lot of times a character that looks like your fam is actually a 100-year-old vampire, but also makes childish and sexual at the same time. Like 911, hello? Operator, get the police here right away. There's a child in danger. Okay, is the child real or is it a drawing? Drawing? Drawings are not applicable, sir. Stop wasting our time. You people are nothing but a nuisance that makes it that much more difficult to keep actual children safe. I hope you're happy. It's the same problem with Soda and Yaoi. I've seen women defending CP manga. That's not a thing. Saying each alien represents the pain you abuse kids, and I know the difference between reality and fiction, therefore there's nothing wrong with me consuming it. So presenting you with a valid argument isn't good enough? Some even refer to your younger sister as lollies and make incest jokes out of it. I saw it a couple of times on Facebook. Truly disgusting. The fuck? People make Alabama jokes all the time. Why is lolly suddenly terrible? If it makes you uncomfortable, tell them to stop. If they continue, make them stop. No, I don't care that she's actually a 5,000-year-old demigod or something. Then this conversation's over. Yes, they are fictional, but by simply liking and defending them, you're basically saying that you do like children. I don't know why they don't get it. It's not rocket science.
Are you retarded?
I hope you never have children. We have enough morons in the world. We don't need any more. Calling out pedophiles is just a case of getting past that initial shock response, making it clear that they can just stop and that nobody will hate them for stopping. Please call your friends out when they say weird shit about child characters. So you're okay with threatening somebody with a false accusation just because they like a certain media that you don't. A false accusation that can ruin somebody's life. People who make false accusations like this should never see the light of day ever again. If you're okay with ruining somebody's life over something stupid, you shouldn't have a problem with ruining your own.
You dumb fuck!
I feel like there's also a for fuck's sake. Fuck your feelings. Give me a goddamn fact. As someone who lives in Japan and is fluent in Japanese, I have to say that Reddit's argument is so much tamer than the ones I see on Japanese otaku Twitter. Japan doesn't have a law against CP if it's a drawing/animation. In fact, it's been argued that CP drawings are protected under freedom of expression, and if anyone calls them out that they're literally posting CP art, doesn't matter how realistic it is. It's been argued that because that's what the law says. If it is of an actual minor, you have grounds to go after them. If not, it falls under freedom of speech. Fuck your feelings. Fuck lolicons and shurikens. Their parents trying to justify pedophilia. No, they're not. And nothing else will convince me otherwise. False accusation, doesn't care about context, values good boy points over facts. Yeah, you're a dumbass. You and the other brainless, emotionally fragile sheep can go prancing around in your own little world. It's a world that sane people don't want any fucking part of.
You are
It wasn't on the
stupid
morning.
people.
This person is actually proud of being close-minded. If he looks like a child, acts like a child, sounds like a child, it was designed to be. I'm getting really tired of this. Sorry, dwarves, or short women in general, or women that were just given the middle finger by nature. Apparently you de-aged. Don't have children. This kind of stuff annoys me so bad. I once heard someone compare it to playing a video game. Just because you kill someone in a game doesn't make you a murderer. The difference is, while drone TP isn't real, the person's attraction to it fucking make it make sense. Stop picking and choosing. Stop being stupid. It must be incredibly difficult for artistic communities, stylized MMOs, etc., who have been tarnished with the same brush as these creeps after being infiltrated by them. Great informative video as always. Thank you, Liam. You look and sound like a very gullible person.
Ding, ding, ding! What do we have for her, Johnny?
Finally, somebody with a brain. Talk some sense into this moron. He also adds that apparently Liam did this as just a publicity stunt in order to get more views for himself. I don't know how true that is because I couldn't find anything that said so, but given how this entire video went, it wouldn't surprise me. But it doesn't stop there. This mad lad keeps going and starts putting these idiots in their place by just calling them out and just telling them how stupid they are, like I am now. And from what I've seen, no one was able to respond with an actual logical argument. So, in my eyes, this guy pretty much beat all of them. And another thing, if this video really was just a stunt and Liam didn't give a shit about this argument, then these people responding to him are even more stupid than I thought. Granted, by Liam's own admission, some of these people didn't even know what a lolly was in the first place, so expecting intelligent or meaningful conversation was pretty much out of the question from the word go. Me personally, I'm not a fan of lolicon, but I'm not going to shit on people who only watch it or prefer to watch it. As long as they're not harming real people, I don't have an issue with them. What I have an issue with is people trying to regulate fiction and art and what can and can't be posted based on nothing but feelings. If the entirety of your argument is, I feel, my feelings, I'm hurt, I'm triggered, you already lost before the argument or debate even began. Stop. You try to act all high and mighty and like you know everything to pitifully cover up the fact that you know jack shit. You showing absolutely zero facts or receipts to back up your claims just shows how little you actually know. And I'll admit it, I don't have all the answers. Nobody does. But we can at least stay informed enough by looking for facts, which is more than I can say for you, Liam. So consider this my first and last video on you, because I am just done with people that can't provide any valid arguments to back up their claims. To everyone else watching who isn't an impressionable dumbass, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.